morning, grade 2. Happy Friday. It's Friday, April 17th, 2020, 4-17-20. If you want to get your assignment books out, I'm actually going to have you look at a map that is in the back of your assignment book. So you'll need that for one of our lessons that we're going to do for social studies today. You can always pause the video if you need it. And if you want to have a piece of scratch paper and a pencil, we're going to work through a couple problems on math. That might be helpful as well. So feel free to pause the video at any time and get the supplies that you need. Okay? If you want to write in your assignment book for religion, we talked about believe, our word of the week, in our devotion this morning. Hopefully you watched that already. And then in reading, you've got your epic books to do and your AR tests with that. Everything should be all finished now with storing up memories. You should have read the story and taken an AR test on it, finished the packet, and be in the process of returning that to me, okay? And have taken your spelling test. That would have been something you would have done yesterday, taking your spelling test on it. If you've missed something, make sure that you get it finished up today. In math, we're going to talk about adding money, yay! And also estimating, and how estimating can help us to be sure, do we have a good answer? Is our answer reasonable? You should be finished up with plants. That's this one here. I'll be doing a separate video today to show you our flowers and what they look like today. I wonder if you'll be amazed. And then remember you do have something to do on the bottom here. So you do need to do that and take a copy of that, a picture of it, and send that to me. I don't think there was anything on the inside that you needed to specifically do. All right, but be careful. Be careful. Remember what you read inside, and it will give you a clue to what you have to write on the bottom there for either a V for vegetable or an F for fruit. Don't get tricked. Okay, so that one be finishing up. And I had a few of you that still needed me to send me the copy of the Scientists and Inventors page. That one was actually assigned before we went on Easter break. You should have finished that up this past Wednesday. If you didn't get me a picture of that, would you finish that up and do that today as well? All right. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about, I'm going to skip from this screen, and we're first going to use the map in our assignment book. And if you have your assignment book, it's on page 122 and 123. I want to look at the world map. And I have a picture of it that I'm going to do with my other camera. So I'm going to switch to that. And then we'll go right from social studies to math. And this is the one that you have new for social studies to do today, families and trade. And we're going to be talking about these countries right here. So I want to show you that. There is also a map on the front that can help you, but I want to show you where it is in the whole world, okay? It doesn't help us if we see just that little part. All right, so you get your stuff. Pause the video if you need to, and I will switch over to my things, okay? All right, so here we go. So here's North America, and I realize it might be a little bit tricky for you to see on my map, but you know where Wisconsin is. It's easy to find. You look for Lake Superior and Lake Michigan, and that's us. That's us. We are next to Lake Michigan. Lake Superior is on top of us. So it is so easy to find Wisconsin in the world or on the United States map. So that's where we are. Now we're going to go down and look. You can see where there's a shape, not really a box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a pentagon shape that is around a portion of what's called Central America. Here's the continent of North America. Here is South America. And this strip in between is often called Central America. So what you need to do, because it's so tiny, they took that section and down towards the bottom, and I'm going to slide my map up now, down towards the bottom, there's that pentagon shape blown up a little bit bigger. And the country that you're especially going to be reading about in your Studies Weekly is Nicaragua, and that's this one right here. And in your small map on the front of your paper, it shows Honduras above it and Costa Rica below it. This one here, this little one, is called Lago de Nicaragua. So Lago de Nicaragua, smaller section, okay? Here's Panama. Have you heard of the Panama Canal? And then we go down into South America. If we keep going up, we've got El Salvador, there was Honduras, Guatemala. Oh, that one is hard to read for me. Oh, Belize. Sorry about that. Belize. And then Mexico. Okay. And then Mexico goes and touches the United States. Do you see how Florida is dipping down into this part? By Cuba, there's Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and then that's close by where Nicaragua is. So it's important to not just know about Nicaragua, but to kind of know where it is in the world and also know where it is compared to where we are, okay? I'm going to go back to the smaller version here and just notice, okay, where's the equator? Right here. There's the equator. So look where Nicaragua is. What kind of a climate do you think they would have if they are that close to the equator? And then here is the Tropic of Cancer, that line of latitude as well. You know what kind of climate we have, and we're quite a ways away from the equator. They're quite close to the equator. What kind of climate do you think they'll have? And I think you'll notice when you read about it that gives you a clue then as well. Okay, so that's your a little bit of a tip for your social studies today. It asks you to do some work. I'm going to move this away on the back and put one other paper there. All right. And it's asking you on this part to use your favorite color to fill in Nicaragua on the map. Well, that's this section right here. That is white. So use your favorite color to color in Nicaragua. Do you remember what this country was? Honduras. Do you remember what this one was? I think it's Costa Rica. Make sure you check. Maybe label those. That would help you too to remember where they are and that they're close to the equator, okay? A little bit in between the Tropic of Cancer and the equator. And then this one is going to be talking about families and trade. And it reminded me of, do you remember when we had the trading day at school? Maybe you want to have a trading day at home. If you've got brothers or sisters, ask them if they would like to do a trading day with you. So maybe each of you choose 3 items, for example, that you would be willing to part with, 3 or 4 items, and then see what you would want to trade with your family member to get something else. Now, remember, when we trade for real shopping, what do we trade? We trade money. We trade money to get an item, okay? Maybe there is something your moms and dads want of yours, and they would trade money for it to have it for themselves. You never know, okay? So maybe you'll want to have a trading day. I hope you enjoy reading about families and trade. And now let's go right to our math. So I hope that you grabbed a piece of scratch paper or notebook paper that you can use and a pencil, okay? So we're going to start out with something, you've done adding with 3-digit numbers. Now we're going to work on subtracting. And so our first one, we're going to talk about pennies. I have 781 pennies, and I am going to spend 149 pennies. How do I subtract? Let's see. Can you see that well enough? Try to write a little bit darker and bigger. I'm going to flip my paper over and I'm going to go bigger, okay? Let's try it. Maybe I'll use my colored pencil. 781, that's better, minus 149. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, 1 take away 9. Can't do it. Cross out my 8. That is a 7. Bring the 1 I borrowed over. Now I have 11. 11 take away 9 is 2. 7 take away 4 is 3. And 7 take away 1 is 6. 632. Okay. Now, when we think about estimating, we think in our heads, is my answer reasonable? So we can think, well, 781, that's really close to, and you're just thinking in your head, that's really close to 800. And 149, ooh, that's right in the middle of almost of 100 and 200. So I'm going to have to realize that if technically, if we were rounding to the nearest 100, we would go down to 100. But I'm going to be a ways away, aren't I? Okay. So if I do 800 take away 100 pennies, I get 700 pennies. Okay. Now my answer is somewhat close to that. If I remember that this one I went higher and this one I went way lower. And so that's a big difference. I'm going to be further away. Okay. On some of the other ones, I'll show you how we can think about it as well. Now, what if I wanted to do that with, I don't think I'm going to go shopping with pennies. Are you? No, we're going to use dollars and cents. So what if I have $7.81? Notice what I did. It's 781. We just have our dollar sign in front, then our $7, our decimal point, and our 81. You have done this changing cents to dollars, right? All right, and now we're going to do the same thing for 149 cents. Remember, we don't have to write that dollar sign again when both of them are money. We do want to line up our digits, and we do want to line up our decimal points. Okay, same thing. 1 take away 9. I cannot do 1 penny take away 9 pennies. I borrow from my dimes. That gives me 11. 11 pennies take away 9 pennies is 2 pennies. 7 dimes take away 4 dimes is 3 dimes. $7 take away $1 is $6. And then remember, you do have to put your dollar sign in your answer. Okay? All right. There we go. We tried one. Let's do another one. Let's try the numbers I want you to use are 725 and 357. Now let's right away make them be with a dollar sign. So we know where our decimal point needs to go, and we need a dollar sign. We're subtracting. Remember, we don't need that extra dollar sign there if we're doing money. 5 take away 7. Can't do it. Borrow from my 2. That's a 1. Now I have 15. 15 take away 7 is 8. 1 dime take away 5 dimes. I can't do that. Borrow from my dollar. That's a 6. I have to bring 10 dimes over. That's 11 dimes. 11 dimes take away 5 dimes. That's 6 dimes. Put my decimal point down. $6 take away $3. $3. Now let's think. Does my answer make sense? So I had $7.25. That's pretty close to $7. So I'm going to think $7. And then I'm going to take away $3.57. Well, that's pretty close to $4. And then is my answer in the $3 range? Yeah. So my answer is reasonable. Estimation can't tell you that it's exactly right. You could have subtracted something wrong. For example, if you did 15 take away 7 equals 9, you still would have a close number, but it would be incorrect. So estimation won't tell you if it's correct, absolutely, but it will tell you if your answer makes sense. Let's do this next one and try the estimation first. What if I have 500 pennies and I give 199 pennies to Mrs. Strand? I say I'm going to have 201 pennies left. Do you think that's a good answer? Well, let's think. 500, that's an easy one. That's right at 500. We don't have to think hard about that. 199, that's closer to 200. So my answer should be closer to 300. So is this correct? I don't think so. Let's try it with the dollars and cents pattern. $5 take away $1.99. I can't do 0, take away 9. I can't borrow from a 0, so I have to go all the way over to my dollars, making that a 4. And remember, we have to come back just to that one spot. So here we have a 10 now. Now I can borrow from the 10, making that a 9. Here's my next 10. 10 take away 9 is 1. 9 take away 9 is 0. 4 take away 1 is 3. So it wouldn't be 201, it would be 301 or $3.01. Okay, let's try just one more example and then I'll let you go. Alrighty, let's do 534. So 534 take away 236. Now let's make that be dollars and cents. So we put our dollar sign, our decimal points are lined up. $5.34, $2.36. 4 take away 6. Oh, can't do it. Borrow from my 3, making that a 2. 14 take away 6. That is 8. Let me check. 8 plus 6. Yep, 8 plus 6 is 14. 2 take away 3. Can't do it. Borrow from my 5, making that a 4. Now that's a 12. 12 take away 3. That's an easy one. That's a 9. $4 take away $2. 2. We remember to put our decimal sign down and a dollar sign. Now let's do some thinking and see if our answer is reasonable. $5.30. Well, that's really close to $5. $2.36. Well, that's really close to $2. $5 take away $2. That's $3. And look, $2.98. Wow, that's one of our closest estimates. That is only 2 cents away. We're really close on that one. I bet we've got it right. Okay, I'm going to cut back to me. Hello. Oh, I was gone for such a long time. I was really there, just using the other camera. All right, so I hope that makes sense to you on how to do your dollars and cents. I have one favor to ask also. Anytime that you have something that you have to measure, like sometimes for your name line or your date line, you have to actually draw a line segment that's a certain length. I can't measure those because your papers come to me in all different shapes and sizes, okay, depending on how you send it to me, and it's not accurate. So would you kindly have your family, someone in your family, double check that part and put a check mark maybe or an okay by it to show that you did that part correctly, or if it's wrong, to maybe circle it and put a -1 by it, okay, or something like that. I don't want you to change it when it's side B. But I need someone else to correct it because I can't do it, okay? I wouldn't get an accurate measurement, all righty? Thank you so much for that. And I think that's it for today. You have lots of things to do today, and then enjoy a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon.